A very special Just Steven.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and I got some good news and some bad news. Good news is today is indeed my birthday, as the title says. So, thank you guys. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Bad news is, I don't know if you notice, and I don't know if I'm kind of throwing myself under the bus for pointing it out, but I'm sure you guys do. I kind of look and sound a little funny, like in this little area right here. I'm a bit swollen. Yes, I know I still look dashingly handsome, but in this area right here, I'm feeling a bit swollen because yesterday I was at the dentist getting my wisdom teeth removed, you know, all 4 of them, and I was under the dentist chair for 8.5 hours. And so in those 8.5 hours, they got this tooth out in the first hour, and this tooth, it took the rest of the 7.5 hours, and they only were able to get half. So these 2 are still here. So I only left the dentist office after 8.5 hours with only 1.5 teeth removed. And so now I have to go to an oral surgeon. It's a whole big thing. Oh, it's a lot. What are you gonna do, you know? And I was debating, I was like, should I still record? My mouth hurts like crazy. But you know what, the show must go on. Cause you know what, I think there's a curse going on with my channel, because last year for my birthday, the government had my laptop and they had it stolen, they had it kidnapped, I couldn't use my regular laptop, and now the government took my wisdom teeth. So, I don't know what's really going on here. I don't know who's trying to silence my channel, but it's not happening, okay? I'm here to stay, and there's nothing you can do about it, okay? So, what I'm just gonna do is, I'm gonna keep it simple today. I have a really fun video idea where, you know, kind of like in my last birthday special, I went through my phases of me, where I kind of saw like where I was as a kid, growing up, who I was, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of want to do something similar to that today. Except instead of going through the phases of me, we're gonna kind of go through my phases of my art style and how my art style changed throughout the years. How do we do that? We go through my old sketchbooks. Okay, so swear to God, these are all my sketchbooks that I have throughout the years. And no, in this video, we're not gonna go through each and every one of them because that will probably take about 4 hours and I'm not getting paid for this. But I'm just gonna kind of skip through because I've actually dated a lot of them as I drew them. So I'm gonna kind of skip through each couple years or a couple months at least, just to really see how my art styles have changed. So I think it'll be a lot of fun because honestly, a lot of artists are very sensitive about people seeing their sketchbooks. I definitely am. I remember getting really nervous when people would want to look through them and flip through them. Like,
ooh, hey, chill out, bro. I don't want to show you.
But today, I'm feeling generous. So anyway, let's start. I need to take my medicine real quick. Sorry. Oh, stupid child locks. Woo! Yeah. Feeling good. All right. Let's start. Okay, so the first sketchbook I have is my little black book. So this is like my first one that I can remember having in my collection. And for this first phase of my art, let me tell you, this is dated around at least 2012. So I was about like 13, 14. So this is early puberty Steven. This kind of jumps to around middle school. Oh, y'all remember which one that is. So my art was really edgy. So for example, so what I really liked to draw back then was a lot of monsters, werewolves, creatures with sharp teeth, sharp claws, because again, they're sharp, they're cool, and they were edgy. So, like, what is this? That's freaky. Freakish, truly. That's gross. These were also my original characters that I would draw. Like, what is that? Of course, I had to get the abs in. Because I would also watch a lot of Dragon Ball Z, like with my cousin, as I've told you guys before. So I'll try to copy off some of the way that they drew anatomy. But speaking of copying, that is the way to learn to draw, though. I mean, a lot of people would ask you, like, oh, Steven, kids would come to me when I was a kid, like, oh, Steven, oh, wow, your art's really cool. Your art's good. You're a good drawer. And they would say, oh, I can't draw a stick figure. I can't draw this and that. And I still hear that to this day. I can't even draw a straight line. And in all honesty, I always tell them this, is that you definitely can. It's just the fact that it is just practice. It's genuinely not just a talent that I just was born with. Sure, I was probably born with a knack for enjoying art like this. I started to grow into really realizing, like, oh, this is like something I'm really passionate about. And not everyone's passionate about that. I completely understand that. But no matter what, I learn the same way as everyone else does. And when I said copying, I literally mean copying, And that's going through old, movie covers, Pokemon cards, and different, like, cartoons, pausing it, staring at a reference, and just copying it, or even tracing. Tracing is good because what it does is starts to give you a general idea of how anatomy works and how just art works in general. So let me show you one of my copy drawings. Like, take a look at this. Do you recognize these characters? Yeah, that's Ben Tennyson, Gwen Tennyson, and Kevin Levin. I was staring at some type of reference sheet. I don't really know which one, but each person I stared at, and I just copied it. And clearly not well, because what's going on with his arm? That's not how arms work. And if your arm works like that, call a doctor. Because what is this? Like, I mean, I don't know. That's not right. But I learn. That's all you can do is keep on drawing. As you can see from my countless amounts of sketchbooks, I kept on doing it. And another thing that I found myself doing a lot of, I'm not gonna read these out to you because they're so cringy. I had a lot of comics. Lots of comics I used to do drawings of. I have my own comic book, like, series that I would make. This one's called Alien's Life. Very clever. And this one's called The Life of a Toy, which is truly just a ripoff of Toy Story. And Disney and or Pixar, please spare me. I was a child. So I would do a lot of real quick, look at this. My anime character. What is that? Come on, dude. What were you doing? I don't know. But anyway, I did a lot of comics. And why? It was because I was super inspired by Calvin and Hobbes. As you can see from my collection, I have a lot of them. And Calvin and Hobbes still is by far, when you ask me what inspired me as a kid, it was always Calvin and Hobbes. I read so many of them as a kid, and I would copy his art style. Bill Watterson's art style is something that I just found super charming, super cute. But at the same time, he would get super complex when it came to drawing, like, backgrounds and, like, these like weird alien creatures. So let me find you an example. So while he would go from characters like this, and they would be all cute and sweet in a funny, goofy way, all of a sudden he goes to drawing very detailed T-Rexes and just beautiful scenery. I fell in love with it. I used to read them all the time. So that's where my main inspiration came from. So with that said, this book 1 of my drawing series saga is just truly filled with just cheap knockoffs, poor sketches, super edgy characters, and comics. But let's move on to the next one. We have another one of these sketchbooks that are not the on-brand green and brown ones. This one, you can really see how much I used to just kind of copy off of things. And another inspiration for my art style, I would say, is VeggieTales. And specifically, not just VeggieTales, one specific movie. It was the Lord of the Rings parody VeggieTales movie. Why? Because on that movie, they had a extra. They had the main menu list, there was an extra where they'll teach you how to draw the characters. And from there, I would just copy, and I was copying down everything they told you how to draw them. And after that point, there were certain ways, especially specifically in the eyes, I would say, you know what, I'm gonna keep the eye shapes just like that. I like the way that they draw eyeballs, so I'm gonna put that in my art style. So that's a second tip for any up-and-coming artist, is steal. Not only copy, but steal. This sounds like bad, but it's not. You have to start to steal bits and pieces of other people's art styles that you enjoy. Like if you see them on TV, you see them in movies, and when it comes to like animated films, find little art styles that you find extremely interesting, and then kind of break off bits and pieces and make it your own, you know? I'm not saying copy someone's complete art style. Don't do that. You have to find your own art style, because then it's not gonna be true to yourself. But, you know, as you get older, you start to learn that, you know, there's certain bits that you enjoy, that some people draw certain ways. Try it out for yourself, see if you like it, and then move on from there. Okay, here's a drawing for Astro Boy, where I was trying to copy the DVD cover that I had. I have a movie of Astro Boy, and again, this kind of just goes into how much you need to copy. I also have a bunch of Pokemon. This is Vigoroth. You see Empoleon. That's not a real Pokemon, but nonetheless, I used to take my Pokemon cards. A lot of Pokemon cards, and I would just over and over take their cards and just copy them. Like Badoo, you see Jolteon, that's Rayman, not a Pokemon. You see a Groudon, Haunter, Jigglypuff, and what looks like Bart Simpson's hair with a foot. You know, basic Pokemon. And so that's pretty much what both early books are just full with, just copying Pokemon cards, copying everything, you know? So, lesson learned, copy and steal. Okay, so let's move on to this brand of sketchbooks. All right, so this is one of my earliest. You can see it's kind of beat up. Starts off 2013 in February. First drawing, we have one of me. There's a bit of an art style jump. You see that I start to progress when it comes to basic anatomy and kind of having a decent looking character. You know, that's pretty much exactly what I looked like bit by bit, including the fang. You see the edgy is still creeping in my art style even back then. In 2013, I had a huge Doctor Who phase, and so here's some. You see I have the Weeping Angels, a Dalek, that little mommy kid, whatever you call it, the empty child they call. There's Cybermen, and the Silence. So yeah, I used to watch a lot of them back then, and I was actually really proud of this drawing. I think it's pretty good, you know? Even now, I think that my art style really kicked it up a notch, and I was really happy with how it turned out. But when it comes to drawing things in my own style, as I said, the edgy was still there. So I would draw like Finn and Jake like this. Like in weird poses I used to do too. Like I don't know why I thought that they looked so cool, but they don't. They're not cool, young Steven. Sorry, and if you're listening to this, I apologize. I still love you. I think that you did a great job, but sometimes you can be a bit too edgy. It's okay, take a breather. Let's see. Another thing that you're gonna notice in this book is very similar poses. No, oh my God, that was a middle finger for a second. So my characters would always be doing the same like cool pose of just doing like this. You'd be like, you know, and that's just because I would try to practice on hands. You know, everyone hates drawing hands. I kind of enjoy it. It's not that they're good, I just enjoy drawing them, but I would always kind of draw them in that same similar pose. Like, I don't know who this is, like old Charlie Brown or something, I don't know. Big one hand out. Oh, that one. Two hands out. One hand out. Edgy, hands out. What? That's stupid. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude to myself, but I call it as I see it. Shut up! Shut up! This noisy street, so annoying. Again, hands out. I don't even know who these characters are. Looks like a little boy on a soapbox and a dirty freaking hippie. I don't know. So that's what you start to find in these older drawings. Oh, and another thing, along with my Doctor Who obsession, one thing I've bounced back and forth from is Supernatural. There it is. What in God's name is that? I tried to get their hairstyles down. So I would draw a lot of Supernatural. Story time, real brief. As a kid, I used to watch so much Supernatural that when they drew the little like pentagram shield star things, I thought that was so cool. I drew one on my wall in chalk in my childhood bedroom. Then my dad and my sister saw that, and they truly thought they were gonna have to commit an exorcism or something. Like, they were just like, "What is this? What is going on?" And I don't know. I just thought it was cool. That's embarrassing. Moving on. More Pokemon. It's a Mewtwo. We got Mew, Jirachi, and a Pikachu that's way too furry for me. Alright, here's some for my Marvel fans. Y'all like Marvel? I do. Here's some drawings I did of some of the heroes, obviously. Can you guess this one? Can you guess it? Of course, it's Captain America. We have Thor. These are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna let y'all make fun of me on this one. These are not bad. And Iron Man. Actually, you make fun of this one. It's a little bit wonky. But nonetheless, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. Do I have any more? Oh. And a Hulk. Awesome. So, that's pretty much it for that book. This is 2013. Now, let's jump forward a year. All right, now we are in late 2014. And again, you can start to see that my art's developing pretty nicely, in all honesty. Here's another example of my Supernatural art, but this is a year later. So in comparison, not bad at all. Honestly, good job. So every year you see that I've progressed in a way that it's pretty decent. Oh my God, another Supernatural drawing. Oh, I love me some Sam and Dean. I'm not gonna lie. In this time period though, I really started dabbling with colored pencils, which because I really wanted to start drawing more like in color things. So in this sketchbook, you see a lot of them. This is also when I started my art page on Tumblr. I'm not gonna tell you what the art page was, but if you find it, that's 50 points for whatever team you're on. I don't know. But I will not be telling you guys. So yeah, I like to practice when it comes to colors, doing my color pencil drawing. So I had a whole series. So do you guys know this character? That's Goo. That's Goo from Fantastic Homes for Imaginary Friends. No, Foster's Homes for Imaginary Friends. So my favorite character, Wilt. Wilt was always my guy. I always loved Wilt. Coco, the little crazy bird. Of course, we have the iconic duo of Mac and Blue. And we have Eduardo. Ooh. And one of my early cartoon crushes, Frankie. I'm not afraid to admit it. I did. Sue me. Early, but not my first. My first was Misty. So clearly I had a thing for cartoon redheads. I don't know. So yeah, lots of colored pencils, really. Here's a here's a Breath of the Wild Link riding on a Yoshi. Cause I was excited for E3 one year. Ooh, this is decent. Look at this pose. Look at me running. That's not bad. Good work. So yeah, this is late 2014. So, as you can see, I still love my monsters though. That's something that's gonna go with me to the grave. You saw the review I gave, Godzilla vs. King Kong. I love my monsters, man. Nothing beats them. But yeah, drawing on my favorite movie, Iron Giant. That's pretty good. I drew him a lot just because it was really good practice with all those complex characters or complex design choices that he has where it comes to all of his nuts and bolts and curves and edges. It can get difficult, so it's fun. It was fun trying to practice with that. Lots of Tumblr drawings. Oh, let's end this book with this drawing of me on the beach. What a killer. This used to be my Facebook banner for a bit. Not bad, not bad. I'm just chilling on the beach. All right, so let's move on from 2014. Let's do a bit of a jump because I think you guys might be getting bored. Where's 2015? Where are you, buddy? I really should have organized these. I was busy getting my teeth pulled for hours on end, so leave me alone. All right, let's move on to 2015. This is mid 2015, and now look at me walking. The art's getting better. It's starting to get pretty much close to my art style now, to be honest. Not to say that I haven't progressed at all, but maybe I haven't. Uh-oh. This is kind of similar to what I would draw now. I don't know who this is. Don't ask. Ooh, look at this colored sheet. This is my Meet the Artist. I was a Tumblr trend at the beginning. So I know this is kind of back. Well, actually, no, I'll flip it. I'm a Virgo. This is when I was 16. I put 6'3". I think that's a stretch. I think I'm actually 6'2". So I put likes is art, obviously. Food, dessert, compliments. Grow up. What are you, attention hog? You are. Compliment me in the comments, actually, if you have the chance. Hoodies and other cool clothes. I love fall. If we're coming around fall right now. Thank God my birthday's in fall because I love fall weather. So I can wear my cool hoodies. Friends, animals, OCs, like original characters, cartoons, cooking, video games, music, and Tumblr. Dislikes, insects, underlined, absolutely. Driving next to trucks, I feel that, brother. Coconut, school, rude people, ostriches, and almonds, pecans, and other nuts. Yes, those all still stand. Ostriches, I hate them. And let me tell you, I just hate all large birds. I don't like them. They freak me out. But this is not about... Oh my god. Did I accidentally put my Tumblr name in there? Anyway. I hope you guys didn't see my Tumblr name. It's on that sheet. I'm gonna block it, actually. I'm gonna actually crop it so you do not see it. I do not want you guys going on my Tumblr. Anywho. So, okay. I still never gave up, though, that little pose. Little handout, little cool action pose. I still love those. So, that's my art from late 2015. Now, we're starting to get close to my digital era because I stopped drawing in these sketchbooks as much because in college I ended up buying myself a laptop with a pen that could use make digital art, because I used to just do a lot of scanned in drawings where I would just draw them, scan them, and then post them online. But I wanted to try something different. Which is nothing wrong with that. I think that a lot of people kind of have an issue when it comes to that, where they would say, oh, traditional or digital art is not real art. Traditional art is better. And people get self-conscious about that when they have their own little change when it comes to drawing, whether or not digital or drawing on traditional. Guys, here's number 3 of my Just Steven art tips. When it comes to number 1, copy. Number 2, steal. Number 3, stop caring. Stop caring. Give up. Give up on trying to please other people when it comes to your art style. It doesn't matter what you draw on, as long as you're drawing. Yeah, sure, digital art is a bit easier when it comes to having all of the colors and different tools that, I can't, zoom in on a traditional drawing. It's hard. Sometimes I go back after digital drawing for a long time and going, crap, can't zoom in. I can't, I gotta actually get color pencils. I can't use all the color hue wheel on my Photoshop program. But you know what? Who cares? Because that's the beauty of the app, is the fact that I don't have to get all those resources. Because you know how much money you have to spend as an artist for that stuff? How many color pencils I went through, sketchbooks. No, on my laptop I have just a bunch of different drawings that I wouldn't be able to really do at my disposal traditionally, So don't worry about what people say when it comes to your art. Make sure that you're doing exactly what you want to draw at all times. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're the one drawing it. They are not, and they can draw their own thing if they don't like it. So that's my third tip. Don't worry about other people. I think we're coming up towards the end when it comes to the things that I drew in my sketchbook. Ew. Oh God. This is random, but I just came across this drawing I did in late 2013. Just swag in graffiti letters. Not even real graffiti letters. So embarrassing. I shouldn't even have showed you guys that. I'm so sorry. Swag. Get out of here, dude. Yeah. Okay. So now we're coming up on to the very last sketchbook. I know, like I said, these obviously are not all my sketchbooks. You saw the large pile of them that I had, and if I went through every single one of them, we'd be here all night. So this is very late 2016, which makes sense because this is when I was starting college, and this is right before I started to get into digital art. So Green Book, not the movie. Like this one, I'm very proud of. I'm actually working on my scenery. My line art is not that bad, honestly. This is actually my cousin at a campfire. I was doing I did a lot of album cover art for him back then that helped me really practice and try out my other skills, which is actually he was one of the first that I used to do a lot of covered art for, because as I got older and I started doing digital art, people started paying me online. They started doing their cover arts for them, which is really cool. That was the main thing I started really selling my art for, $30, just drawing someone's album cover. So I did a couple of those, so that was pretty cool, Oh yeah, so as you can see, my lead pencil was actually like my weapon of choice when it came to drawing, so I love drawing with a lead pencil. So this is what I did for one of them. I'm really happy. That's a really good one, honestly. And no matter how much I try to escape it, I can't get over the edgy. I'm sorry. I made fun of my young self for that, but I think I still like edgy things. Like, look at this. It's a guy holding on a leash his giant monster, and I had a lot of fun drawing that. Guys, I'm sorry, I lied to you. I'm still an edgelord deep down in my heart. I can't help it, all right? Shadow the Hedgehog did a number on me, okay? Ooh. This one I remember being really proud of. This is a drawing I did of Chance the Rapper way back when. This is, again, late 2016. So, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like this, I definitely started getting much better when it came to like drawing, positioning, just people in general, because back then, I was atrocious. Oh, look at this. This little robot man I did. I cannot remember whether or not I copied this from something. This looks almost a little bit too good to be a design of mine, and maybe I did copy it, but I'm very proud of it nonetheless, and I'm stealing it. So if you guys recognize it, no you don't. Oh, another edgy character. As usual. Look at that. I'm just digging my own grave at this point. I get it, alright? I'm an edgelord. No need to talk about it anymore, okay? But, I mean, as I keep flipping through all these sheets, one thing I'm just, again, really realizing is that you start to see if you look at my old drawings and what it became, that was just me kind of picking and choosing of different people's drawings that I really ended up liking, you know? Like, I think around 2014 is when I really started to get a hold of like my own art style, my own personal style. Like, I feel pretty confident right now on where I'm at artistically, where it feels like, you know, of course I don't want to be stagnant. I still want to keep on getting better, which is why I still draw. I still do commission work with, by the way, if you want to buy anything, email me, but also go on my art page. You could DM me as well. Hit me up if you'd like to get some purchased art. It will be fully colored, kind of like this fan art I did of Home. That's Tip and O. I did of them. I really enjoyed the movie back then. Yeah. Here's a color drawing I did of me in my cool fall hoodie outfit, doing the same pose. Yeah, here is some actual like experimental cover arts I did for my cousin Davon, which I said. But yeah, I did a bunch of different drawings I did for that, you know, which I was really proud of. And I still am. When I go through them, I'm just like, these are really good. Yeah, like Batman, Joker, the bat who laughs. I did that way early on, which I think DC copied me on that one, to be honest. And so this is when I really was getting into it. I was really enjoying doing this colored art. This is good. This was a tough one because it's supposed to be multiple mirrors, and I was really trying to capture the reflection being the same. But digital art, you don't really get that. Of course, for this, I would use like a ruler and a straight edge, so I could really try to make sure I get both of these similar. But you can still tell the differences, like slight differences. Whereas digital art, you just copy and paste, reverse it, which honestly saves you a lot of time. And I'm an advocate for digital art. I still like to make sure I go back to my traditional roots, make sure I practice up on that, because I still enjoy doing it, but digital art does make things so much more easier and accessible, which is there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. All in all, I've had a lot of change when it comes to being an artist, and let's just like kind of scroll back through the rules I gave, the tips I gave you guys, because that's kind of what I followed. It's copy, number one, copy other art styles, look at them, see what you enjoy. All great artists copy things. You know, there's no such thing as an original thought anymore. Everyone is inspired. You know, I say copy, which sounds derogatory, but overall it's just inspiration. You know, find inspiration in what you love. You know, I loved like Iron Giant. I watched a lot of VeggieTales growing up, and I took their art style and I said I really enjoy that. And 2 is stealing. You know, it's kind of the same as copying, but you know, it's more, stealing is more of the, you know, keeping it for yourself. You copy it and then you keep those little bits and pieces that you really enjoy for yourself. You know, you make that art yours. You turn it into your own art style. Again, don't steal it and keep it. You know, I would never take Bill Watterson's work and be like, I'm gonna draw bit for bit just like him, you know, because he has his own art style, and I think I would fail because I think he's a fantastic artist and he does his own thing. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm creating my own thing with my art style. And you know, number 3, just don't care, because art is always going to be art, and there's always going to be someone out there who's going to really enjoy the art that you do, and there's going to be people out there who don't. You know, I've had a good amount of hate comments when it comes to some of my art before. Well, not a good amount, here and there, but you know, in the beginning it would hurt. I'm like, oh, okay, like that's just unnecessarily rude. Why? Like, you know, and there's a prime difference between hate comments and constructive criticism. You know, some people will say, hey Steven, you know, I think that you should use a dark purple or blue for shading instead of black. That's constructive criticism. I'll say, thank you so much, you know, I'll try that out, I'll make sure I do that, thank you. But when someone says you should just change hobbies, you shouldn't do art, that doesn't help anybody, you know? And nowadays, you know, when I get that, I just kind of laugh, because in all honesty, they don't really hurt me as much anymore, just because I'm just like, you know what, like, it's still my art. I still enjoy it, and I'm always gonna enjoy doing art like this, you know? No one's random comment's gonna stop me from doing so, you know? And, you know, and that's just how I feel. I just know who I am, and I'm confident in that, and I know my art style. And you should figure out yours as well. You should go out there, keep drawing, and, you know, draw past the stick figure. I know for a fact you guys can. If you just keep on practicing, keep on drawing, the stick figures are gonna be nothing. You could go so far past it, and you're not too late either. Yeah, when I started drawing out the womb, honestly. I started drawing very early on, and I kept going, but you can still learn now, you know? Look at the difference I made from 2013 to now. You know, you see all my digital art that I do for like my YouTube channel, my art page. Those are all that's a very short amount of time. And I think that in a short amount of time, if you guys just practice, because I used to draw every single day, give or take a couple days, you know, give yourself a rest day, but I used to draw all the time. And if you genuinely care about improving your art style, just draw a lot. I know a lot of people say draw every single day. I'm pretty lenient on that. You don't have to draw every single day, but, you know, draw a lot, you know? Draw what makes you happy. When you feel that inspiration, grab a sketchbook, draw it down immediately. Overall, that's it for this video. Moral of the story, love your art. I love your art. Send me your art. If you guys, you know, really enjoy art, send me your art. Or if you guys have any, like, questions when it comes to getting your art style or any, like, tips I can give you, feel free to message me. Like I said, just go on my Instagram or Twitter or whatever. My DMs are open. Hit me up with those, you know? I'm an open book. An open sketchbook. Oh, yes! That's so funny. That's full circle, baby. Happy birthday to me. That's awesome. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm gonna have a great rest of my birthday. So I gotta go, and I gotta go ice this thing because it hurts so bad. I hope you guys have a great day. I really do. And enjoy this beautiful weather. Fall's coming around. Shut up, Steven. You are making this outro way too long. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye.